Okay, fight fans, welcome back to Manny's Thoughts Part 2, aka what to watch and when to watch it. We've got a jam-packed weekend of fights, so let me get started. I, of course, am Manny MTL or Manny Montreal. You can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and obviously thefightcity.com. Okay, so first off, this one's going to be a little tricky because it's going down in Beijing, China at 7 a.m. So stay tuned to my Twitter and I will figure out how we can watch this. However, WBA super featherweight title on the line between Fortuna and Sosa. Sosa is 18-1. Javier Fortuna, I have a great little Bumblebee video I made for him. He's called El Abejon. He's 29-0. The kid is definitely fun to watch. I always talk about him every chance I get. Make sure to check out this fight Friday morning. Okay, next up, Friday night, Bellator MMA 157, Dynamite 2, Bellator Kickboxing, St. Louis. Okay, very complicated title. However, let me explain. It's two cards. There's a kickboxing half and there's an MMA half. It's a fantastic night of fights. I strongly suggest it to the people that are diehard UFC fans. Give this a try. You'll see. It's just a different flavor. Quinton Jackson, Rampage is back. He's fighting. Matt Mitrione is back. He was in the UFC. This is going to be his first fight in Bellator. Looking forward to him competing in a different outfit. There's just a stacked night of fights, as you can tell. Lastly, on the kickboxing side of things, while this is all going down live on Spike, make sure to tune in. Joe Stitch 'em Up Schilling is fighting. Always fun to watch. And there's other terrific kickboxing matches. Great night of fights. Bellator and Dynamite Kickboxing Friday night, 7 p.m. Next up, Showtime Championship Boxing. The IBF heavyweight titles on the line. Joshua versus Brazil. This is going on Saturday at 4 p.m. It's a perfect afternoon of fighting. I love it when fights go on in England. It means afternoon fights. It's a stacked card, but a couple things I want to point out. Conor Benn is going to be on the card. If you don't know Conor Benn, I got to watch his debut the last time out. His father, the very famous Nigel Benn. Conor the Destroyer Benn, going to be fighting in his second fight on this card. Also very interesting, the 16-1 heavyweight Dylan the Villain White. Also on the for the British middleweight title, Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Tom Dazzling Duran. You know what? Tom Duran's undefeated. I'm very interested in seeing what Chris Eubanks brings to the table. His daddy's calling out Triple G. That might be a little crazy. I like the kid, so we'll see. Also on the card, George the Saint Groves versus Martin Murray. This is a perfect fight for the British fan. If you like boxing over there, these are two good names fighting each other. It's not, the biggest fight in the world, but it's going to be a competitive, fun fight, so look out for that. Then last but not least, Anthony Joshua, 16-0 versus Dominic Trouble Brazil, who's 17-0. Here's it's going to be a big knockout. I predict a big knockout for Anthony Joshua. I don't see Dominic Brazil having anything. I don't want to be a jerk, but his stuff's so sloppy. I don't understand how he's undefeated or how people really believe he's undefeated. He's knocked some dudes out, don't get me wrong. He's got some power, but his stuff's so sloppy, and Anthony Joshua is for real. So pay attention. This is going to be a great afternoon of fights brought to you by Showtime Championship Boxing. Look out for Matchroom Boxing, Joshua Brazil. Next up, Saturday night, if you've got Fight Pass, maybe you can stream it. It's on ESPN3, and I think it's going to be on tape delay on Fight Network. Glory 31, live from Amsterdam. Check it out. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a beautiful night of boxing Saturday night starting at 9 p.m. on CBS Sports. Live free boxing brought to you by PBC, Premier Boxing Championships. There's a couple fights on this I want to mention to you guys, but here's the first one. Heather the Heat Hardy, undefeated female boxer, 122 pounds of fury. Look out for this girl. I had the pleasure of meeting her really quickly when I went to New York at Gleason's gym, And I got to watch her fight a couple times. Definitely a big fan of hers. Also, little Montreal connection for this week. Francine Netu is fighting 16-0. Francine Netu is going to be fighting David Red Flag Benavidez. Now, this is fighting under the radar for most sports reporters out there, but this is going to be a doozy. If Netu walks away from this, look out for big things for him, and same goes for Benavidez. Here's the thing, Benavidez is 13-0 with 12 KOs, and Netu is 16-0 with 4 KOs. So, I want Netu to pull this out. It would mean big things for him. Benavidez is dangerous. Watch out for this fight. Last but not least, One Time versus Showtime. Keith One Time Thurman versus Sean Showtime Porter. This is a beautiful fight. For all the people that bitch about the free PBC and Bounce and NBC and CBS and all the free TV, boxing's no good and blah blah blah, this is a fantastic card. It's going to be live and free on CBS from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. BK, stand up. Fantastic night of boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us this week. There is plenty more going on next week. Make sure you check out my Manny's Thoughts video. I give you the breakdown on what went down last week and the Grant Brothers card. Hit me up on Facebook and Twitter. Do not be shy. I will reply. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next week.